From a continent described as the underdeveloped, poverty-stricken, sickness-ridden, dark, forgotten, a light is shining. A light in Africa. Sam Korankye Ankrah, founder and apostle general, Royalhouse Chapel International Churches and Missions Worldwide. Born on 23rd February 1960, married to Reverend Mrs. Rita Korankye Ankrah with 4 children, Nana, Papa, Nadromo, and Moena. Sam Korankye Ankrah, pastor, Christian statesman, advisor to government leaders, business and marriage counselor, international conference speaker, educator, and prophet.
Peace in this nation, it is not because of any politician. It is because the church in Royalhouse is praying. God has been hearing us. Yes. It is not because of any politician. When the elections were over, I was hearing people talk on television and radio and say Ghanaians are very matured. They are politically matured. Ghanaians are politically matured. Oh yeah? Ivory Coast was more mature than us. But there is war in Ivory Coast. It is not political maturity, it is God. Because the saints prayed and the prophets spoke.
In a divine encounter in Holland, God said to Apostle Sam, gather saints and bring them before God's presence in prayer and worship. Bring them a relevant word to transform lives. Create an atmosphere of love, sharing, caring, and fellowship for personal, spiritual, and social significance. Royalhouse Chapel, touching our generation with the power of God. From 12 people in its 1991 inception to over 10,000 passing through its gates weekly, double in its mega conferences at the headquarters in Accra, Ghana, then the International Bible Worship Center, IBWC. And now Royalhouse Chapel International is emerging in the spiritual, social, and corporate frontiers of the world with over 105 churches in Ghana, 1 in China, and many more in the UK and across the United States of America. The ministry of Apostle Sam has touched people of all age brackets and genders, all social classes, all political divides, typically ministering to the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of people across the continents of the world. The Aged Ministry.
A ministry which we began about 8 years ago for the sole purpose of bringing together aged people in our society to give them comfort, to create a forum for fellowship, and then to provide what we think can prolong their lives. We give them food to eat, get nurses and doctors to take care of them, provide them medication, cater for them.
I have 13 children that I have raised alone. But since one of them died some years ago, the other 12 of my children have rejected me and now call me a witch. They don't care about what I eat or drink. They don't even talk to me. But I thank God who brought me to the aged ministry of Reverend Sam Korankye Ankrah.
She hasn't seen me before, so she came today just to catch a glimpse of me, and she requested that I should give her this embrace, because that's all the reason she came here today. God bless you.
The social outreaches.
Amen. It's a ministry that reaches out to drug addicts, prostitutes, ex-convicts, alcoholics, armed robbers, and all other social misfits. In addition to this, widows and widowers are given various sums of money and provisions for Christmas every year.
He knows my name. He knows my every thought. And He sees each tear that falls, and hears me when I call. Let's all sing. I have a Father. I have a Father.
Reverend Korankye Ankrah recently visited the northern region of Ghana for medical outreach with doctors, nurses, ushers, counselors, and prayer warriors. People were counseled, screened for eye defects, and drugs were issued out to the sick in the community.
The Scholarship Scheme.
Royalhouse Chapel, under the leadership of Reverend Korankye Ankrah, operates an educational scholarship scheme which caters for tuition, boarding fees, school uniforms, bags, books, and feeding of about 200,000 beneficiaries from primary through tertiary level.
He knows my name. He knows.
Education will be the foundation of what you will become tomorrow. Very, very, very important. Nia obesua was school says here, and on our eventually share with that.
He knows.
For today shall be a day of memorial, a day of celebration in your life. The Egyptians that you see today, you will see them again no more. The Lord shall fight for you, and you hold your peace. That's saying the Lord.
Let's all sing. He knows.
The Photo Gallery.
Reverend Korankye Ankrah with the Asumdwehene, His Excellency Professor John Evans Atamils. Reverend Korankye Ankrah with former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. Reverend Korankye Ankrah with Dr. and Mrs. Casey Price. Reverend Korankye Ankrah, Reverend Mrs. Rita Korankye Ankrah with former First Lady and Miss Shelley Aite. Reverend Korankye Ankrah with WBC Featherweight Champion Berima Azuma Nelson. Reverend Korankye Ankrah with Reverend and Mrs. Inwale. Reverend Korankye Ankrah with former President John Ajekum Kufuor. Korankye Ankrah with Bishop T.D. Jakes. Reverend Korankye Ankrah with ex-president Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings.
Reverend Korankye Ankrah is also a chairman to a number of corporate bodies in Ghana and in UK, offering not only business advice but apostolic and spiritual covering as well. Most of these businesses have experienced large turnovers. Within the last 4 years, he has successfully opened Ghana to a number of international business associations for investment. Amongst many honors, from annual cash prize and incentive gift awards that the Apostle has personally and charitably instituted to deserving workers in some high schools in Ghana, organizations like the West African College of Nurses, universities like the Regent's University in Ghana, to even whole orphanages which he had adopted, not to mention wards and hospitals and the like. The government and former president of Ghana recently awarded him the Order of the Volta, one of the highest awards given to a clergy for distinguishing himself in his area of calling. His obedience to the call of God has raised from nothing many well-to-do businessmen and women, men and women of God across the continents, and given a living, a home, a family, and spiritual covering to tens of thousands of people, their wives and families, born and unborn. Pastor Sam brings freshness to a desiccated world through a message and acts of hope, faith, and love. With his gifted, unique ability to create something out of nothing. The authentication of his own life coming from the Kopavi village in Ankrah, Ghana. From a polygamous marriage with 22 siblings, early years of poverty and struggle, and now into prominence and blessing. He continues to bring down the presence and power of God, making God real to people through the release of miracles, healing, deliverance, and prosperity for the transformation of lives. This is the first 50 of his unlimited years. The story continues.